Today we're going to look at the special phenomenon in campaign politics of political action committees. Now, PACs, as they're better known, are special groups that are designed specifically for the raising and spending of campaign funds. They are affiliated with interest groups. They are sometimes called a special type of interest group. And what we're going to look at is why they've grown so powerful, who has them, and what are some of the dangers involved with PACs. So if we trace the growth of PACs, we have to go back to the 1970s. And when Congress passed the Federal Election Campaign Act, otherwise known as FECA, what they did is they actually encouraged the growth of PACs, because that law actually gave PACs the spending power that was 5 times that of an individual. So PACs under the original FECA law could contribute $5,000 per election per candidate, whereas an individual can only contribute $1,000. So that spending discrepancy really gave PACs much more power. In addition, PACs can spend unlimited funding on independent expenditure campaigns. So as long as they're not coordinating with a candidate and their campaign, then they are free to spend as much money as they want. Now, if we look at the way that this has grown in the PAC contributions to candidates, I want to show you that in about 1972, right before the law, you had about $8 million spent by political action committees on political campaigns. Now today, you're looking at several $100 million spent on congressional campaigns, including donations to candidates that don't have any opposition whatsoever. And part of this is because what PACs have seen is that their money is buying them access to the government. Now, in terms of strategies, the biggest strategy of a PAC is to give contributions and to give them to incumbents. And political party preference really isn't a factor here. What they're looking to do is buy access, and you go with incumbents because they have an 80 to 90% re-election rate. And those odds are pretty good, and that makes your investment a very wise strategy. One other thing with campaign contributions, PACs tend to give a higher percentage of their funds to congressional candidates rather than presidential candidates. And that comes down to the access that can be granted by a congressional member, and also the fact that Congress, at the end of the day, is the one that makes laws, and PACs and interest groups are trying to change laws. Some other things that you need to know about PACs is who has PACs. And in this country, 50% of our PACs are connected to corporations, and another 25% are affiliated with ideological organizations. About 15% are professional or trade associations, and the last 10% or so are labor unions. And what that leads to is a danger of PACs. One of the dangers is that there is an over-representation of wealthy people. You see an underrepresentation of poor and working class in the types of PACs that exist in this country. PACs also drive up the costs of campaigns. When they're pumping all this money in, you've got to respond. And so it just makes campaigns more expensive, and that just further necessitates the role of interest groups in PACs. Now, if you're going to defend PACs, you need to look no further than the First Amendment to the Constitution. First Amendment protects your right to petition the government. That's what PACs are doing. First Amendment protects your right to expression, and PACs are a form of political expression. When you spend your money and you are expressing a preference for a candidate, that is political expression guaranteed by the First Amendment. Also, we need to remember that, PACs serve a purpose. They are helping to get messages out there. They have, given and means for representation and participation in the political system. They are part of that linkage institution mentality where we are connecting citizens to their government.